Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Junaid Hussain here from Civil 21 session. Talent wins games, but teamwork and confidence wins championship. Today I am here along with my group consisting of Zalish Ali, Anas Aslam, Zaid Ahmed, Afrad Sahab Ahmed, Saman Ashraf and Muhammad Tayyib Tabassum. Now heading forward toward the topic of our presentation. The topic of our presentation is the 7 C's of communication. The things we will discuss in our presentation are: what are these 7 C's of communication? Why these 7 C's of communication are important? What are the effects of these 7 C's of communication, and much more. Firstly, I will tell you what is effective communication. Many people communicate with each other daily, either face to face or using different platforms like Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, etc. But how much of our communication actually reaches the intended one, as we hope? So every person need to be clear and complete. In effective communication, everyone must be complete and clear to the next one. Similarly, the effective communication is the process of exchanging ideas, thought and data with next one with clarity. Next, my group mate Zalish Ali will continue.
Okay, first I will discuss when the concept of 7 C's of communication appeared. The concept of 7 C's of communication appeared first in business when the time is precious and there is no room for mistakes done out of misinformation. 7 C's stand for 7 essential principles of communication, starting with the letter C. Each one represents a requirement that are necessary for the effective communication. Effective communication is the quality of successful people both at home and at workplace. When a speaker or writer conveys a message, it is important that the receiver understands it. A half-understood message can create misunderstanding. By applying the 7 C's of communication, your message can be easily understood by the receiver. Like we can take an example of modern science. Modern science is not much different from the business in the sense that scientists face information overload. Like oral presentations. Like in oral presentations, you have attended many seminars and conferences where you have seen that no speaker talked too fast or extended their talk over the allocated length of time because they wanted to squeeze too much information in too little time. Similarly, when dealing with written communication, scientists adapt to time shortage by skimming to a key factors. They read only the most interesting parts. They read not all the information. So, if the communication is ineffective in both the cases, there are chances that the main message of your work can be ignored or lost. So we can say if the person is dealing effectively or talking effectively by using 7 C's, then he will have advantage in his communication. Now, what are these 7 C's? These are clarity, completeness, correctness, courtesy, conciseness, concreteness and consideration. Now, Anas will continue from here.
Assalamu alaikum. As already previous group member had discussed about the 7 C's of communication, importance of 7 C's of communication. Now I will discuss about clarity. What is clarity? Clarity is clear writing and presentation. Clear writing and presentation allows your audience to understand your intent message. Consider your choice of words and structure to have your message as simple as possible. And last one, clarity is interconnected with the is the principles of correctness and completeness. Now next one is completeness. Be sure to include all required components and answer all questions that you may you have. Your message should be completely enough for your audience to respond or to take action. And completeness is the interconnected the principles.
Now moving forward, correctness. Make sure that the message you are sending is correct, containing accurate information. Utilize reliable sources when you gathering research for your messages. When providing this information for others, be sure your spelling, grammar, and punctuation is correct as well. Now move to courtesy. Respect others and remember that your communication reflects directly. Be sure your overall tone and approach is always professional and courteous to others who may hearing or reading it. Courtesy requires some thinking about what the audience knows or doesn't know and forming the message accordingly. Your tone will be different with your age fellows, with your teachers, and with your parents. If someone from you stand up and says teacher in that way, "Hey beautiful lady, how are you?" You will be change your tone and choose your words correctly, just like that. "Hi ma'am, how are you?" Now, Afra 7.
Assalamu alaikum. Conciseness. Be brief where you can so your message is not drawn out to confuse your audience. Avoid including lengthy explanation that do not add or improve your message. Be concise while providing all your necessary information. It can be a balancing act. You should be concise while communicating with someone so that your message remain more effective. If you add more data in your communication, it will bound your topic. That will lose your value. That will lose the message value. Thank you, and now someone will continue.
Respected ma'am, girls and boys, Assalamu alaikum. I will tell you about concreteness and consideration. Reinforce your words with facts and figures so that there should be no ambiguity in your communication. A concrete communication is just like a fact sheet put to words. Concreteness diminishes the need to guess the meanings and possibility of interpretation. Next one is consideration. Consideration means you should completely understand what is the background of your audience, your listeners, and you should keep in mind you should not hurt them, their feelings, their emotions. You should keep in mind their academic background, their education, their mindset, their interest. Considerate communication doesn't mean to hurt anybody. In fact, everybody should be comfortable with your communication. A communication which lacks consideration cannot be received warmly by your audience. Next, I will continue.
Assalamu alaikum. As in the start of presentation, Junaid Hussain told you what are 7 C's of communication and what are their effects. So let us discuss them one by one. First, we will discuss why 7 C's of communication are important. Look, these 7 C's are deeply linked with every aspect of our life. These skills can be applied to any form of communication, whether it is a research paper, an oral presentation, an online discussion, or speaking with and emailing with someone on campus. These skills can also be applied to a wide range of professional settings, whether on campus or in the professional world. Learn these guidelines of the 7 C's of communication so you can be a better communicator. In short, these skills are deeply linked with every aspect of our life, whether it is your formal life, whether it is your official life. Now, heading towards what are the effects of these 7 C's of communication. So, these skills, these 7 C's have a great impact on your personality and your personality building. The better we communicate, the more credibility we will have with our boss, with our clients, and with our customers. They will not be left unsatisfied, and they will be more impressed by our society, and they will more discuss us with the other persons. It can also be a kind of our promotion. So use the 7 C's of communication as a checklist for your communication. So this checklist is, so be clear, complete, correct, courteous, concise, concrete, and considered. Now, there are some of the questions which come to a mind of a common man when he thinks about thinks about a topic 7 C's of communication. So, if your questions are related to these questions, so you can seek help from these slides. Otherwise, you can answer. नहीं, मैंने कहा है अगर इनसे रिलेटेड हैं तो आप हमसे आपको इनसे स्लाइड्स पढ़ लो, अगर इनसे कोई डिफरेंट है तो हम पूछ सकते हैं.